Okay, gang, I think we're ready to do this. Jump straight into this. Welcome back, everyone. It's been about forever. I don't think I've picked up Zbrush or any of my modeling tools since about end of September. Gross. Don't like it. But in the meantime, I've been working on job stuff and getting my life together, and isn't that fun? And those things are done now. My life is together. I'm a picture perfect version of the most beautiful person I can be. And I'm ready to sit back down and do art again. Very excited about that. So excited I ran out and grabbed this gigantic Cintiq. Pretty sweet. So, we're gonna do some character creation today. I'm working on a new character. A lot of you have been following some of the stuff on Twitter and seeing kind of some of the demos I've been doing with Unreal Engine, with NVIDIA Hairworks, with some of the VR stuff, and I think we're just about where we want to be to kind of jump back into all of that and start, getting it done quickly, working on the pipeline. So as usual, these will be kind of tutorial driven streams, and we're just going to go and have a good time. It's all BYO music, so there will be no music played during this show, so that when we put it on YouTube, it doesn't get taken down for copyright media stuff, and you don't have to listen to music that is royalty free. So just bring your own music, play whatever you want to play while you're watching this, or if you're looking at it as a tutorial, then you don't have to fast forward through dubstep or whatever garbage is going on in my brain, right? So today we're going to be working on a brand new character. A friend of mine grabbed for me a cool little ref of a kind of bearish character that we're going to be working on and making our own today. Should be pretty cool. And I'm excited about it. It's gonna be really cool. So let's just jump straight into it. I should have everything up and ready to go. So let's do it. All right. So I've been working on this guy for a couple of hours today already, and the thing that's fun and exciting about that is I'm gonna turn on my music and kind of get into the zone here. Make sure you guys can't hear it. Yeah, perfect. So that's in my head and nowhere else. Lovely. All right. So what I've been doing with this character is I started with there's a lovely free base image on There's a base mesh on Zbrush. Excuse me, not even on Zbrush, on the Cube Brush site. Which I actually want to pull up real fast because this is a pretty cool resource. And I'll put a link to this in whatever video we end up doing, comments for or whatever else. And you guys will be able to see where to grab that. So this is kind of some of the proportioning I've done for the character. I'm going to open the original, which I'm not actually sure where I put. So give me a second to, I guess this should be it. Yeah, this should be it. Let's pick it out. All right. So this mesh is nice for a number of reasons. One of the reasons I really like it is that it has all of these poly groups. So if I turn off the poly groups on this guy real fast, y'all can see how this is, it looks like one of the posable mannequins or maquettes or whatever they're called for the, old school, art school drawing class where you pose these things. And the reason I really like this is that the proportions are kind of fun and stylized. It's kind of like a toony style. So I don't have to obviously the arms are a little long, arms a little big. It's kind of like a game style character, right? I think Team Fortress 2, because that's the last time I played video games. So with this kind of character, we have a nice base to start with. If I turn on the polylines, the polygroups, what we can see here is that all of these are individually selectable. So like just this is a polygroup, and you know, just this is an object inside of this mesh. And I really like that because it lets me really quickly be able to do things like, oh, the character needs a little bit of a punch. How do I like just get to that part of the character? Jump in here, mask it out, flip back, flip that, and I've got the arms selected too, and I don't want that, but you get the idea. And I can just add that. Okay, so now he's got punch, and like I can. That's kind of what I've been doing with this character, is getting all those particular things together. So let's take a look at the bear character I've been working on. I'm going to be modeling the face tonight, seeing how far we can get with that. That looks right. So you can see how he's kind of got already like kind of a Yogi the Bear style look. Just kind of going into the proportions that I want to talk about. I still have a lot of work to do on the back. I'm not happy with how that sits. I kind of want to add some weight there. But these are where I want. Really, this is just proportions, so I can start to get a look and feel for the character. It's not really posed either, so I'm not going to get too much energy and life out of the character, but as I start to work more on the face and get the shoulders where I want and all those things, we'll start to get a little more sense of who this character is and how he's going to work. And I have a couple of refs that I'm going on that Kodiak sent me, and all I've got to do is look at them, and we can start modeling the character. So let's go do that. Let's see, is everything working? Yeah, it looks like the stream's working. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. And I guess we're off to the races. I'm going to pull up that ref on my phone. Where is that? I don't know where the fuck I put it on my computer. Give me a sec to find it. Bitch, if everyone just used Telegram, then everything would all be in the same place and I wouldn't have to look for anything. I could just be like, oh, where's that ref? I'd be like, oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. Alright, that's going to give me a place to start. So I'm just gonna work from my phone for now. No free exposure for your persona. Just kidding. We'll get it up in a minute. Just don't want to fuck with transferring it from my phone to the computer and everything else. Alright, let's do this. I know that Rune is in the chat as well. Kodiak is in the chat. What's up, guys? Thank you for hanging out with me today and doing all this. It should be a lot of fun. Let's do it. Let's just fucking jump straight into this. Enough bullshit. Let's just do it. Alright. So, like, all I've got is, like, a starting place for the nose, which is, like, this is just the worst writer's block part of any time I start a new character. So, oh, you just gotta do it. You just gotta jump in and do it. Which is, like, the worst, because it always looks like shit, and you always fucking forget how to do shit. Alright, let's get our intensity where we want. Remember where our key bindings are. We got that. That's working. That's good. Roll that back. So the nice thing I'm really liking about this old secondhand enormous ass Cintiq, before I was on, and in my previous streams, I was on a, it wasn't a Cintiq, it was a Wacom, but it was a, not Intuos, it was the new, the hell is it called? Cintiq and Intuos, right? Yeah, so it was an Intuos Pro, I guess. Something tells me that's not the name of the product. I just don't remember. It's not in a space in my brain. All right, there's not enough geometry in this, so I'm just gonna do what I want to do here and fix that. What? I'm on 3x subdiv and it's still doing that? Really? Oh, it's because it's super tiny. Okay. I guess I could divide all of it if I really wanted to, but I'll just do it at the minimum. It'll be fine. I'm remembering how programs work. I'm going to do it again. Okay, so now that we're up here, this should be out of control. It's still kind of low. It might be good enough for the base sculpt. Yeah, okay, that's nicer. We're looking fine. So it was an Intuos Pro. I still don't think that's the name of the product, but I'm not going to go look it up. I'm not going to let it bother me. So it was that wireless one that they had, the black things. It was Graphire. Graphire is the name that I'm hoping that I'm not mistaking it for. So it was not a Graphire. They haven't made Graphire or whatever in a bajillion years. But, fucking Jesus. So anyway, I had this older tablet. It wasn't even older. It wasn't a damn screen. So that's the first thing I like. Yeah, imagine that. The guy with Cintiq likes having the screen. But the thing that I really hated about that damn thing was the wireless was really crappy in my home's RF environment. Like, it just would constantly cut out. So being back on wired is like the first thing that's just boss about this whole setup that I've got right now. Go back to my ref. Remembering what bears look like. A study in human emotion. So it would like, I don't have like a camera anyway. We'll have cameras, but I don't really have a good way to show this. I guess I could tilt it up. You guys can kind of see that. Let's see if you guys can see that. Look at it. Look at it. I'm waiting for my latent ass stream to. All right, so yeah, you guys can't see it. That's okay. The idea is that right here where my hand is, all the tool palette stuff is there, like Shift, Alt, Control, history, roll back and forth. It's just solid. It seems really solid. The buttons that I'm pressing and the ones on the Intuos Pro just felt kind of garbagey and would like trick out at random. I don't know if it was the wireless or if it was fucking something else, but it was driving me insane. I constantly have to reboot the tablet in order to get like keys to unstick, and it was just lame as hell, and I hated it. I'm not gonna say it was like stopping me from doing art, and as a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why I am streaming right now at all, is because when I'm doing art, I seem to just, and streaming at the same time, I seem to get kind of in the zone a lot faster. No, it's not really faster. It's more like when I'm constantly babbling to myself and I'm trying to think about things that would inform whoever's watching about what I'm doing. In other words, when I'm teaching, that's awful, rolling that back. When I'm teaching, I seem to just the art and the, not, what's the word I'm looking for? Not tension, not drama, not trauma, but there's a word and it rhymes. I don't remember what it is. But the bullshit around sitting here and doing art, monotony, it doesn't rhyme. The monotony of sitting here and doing these tasks goes away, and I really like it. This character is looking exceptionally mousy right now, which I don't like. I think it's because the eyes, or the sockets for the eyes, are very sunken. And I'm going to look at the ref again and remind myself why that is. And that's because he's got, the character I'm looking at has a very wide jaw. This is a very square jawed creature. What I want to do now is kind of add some bareness to it. This guy's got neck as well, which also needs to happen like now. I mean, not like that bad, but like close. We're gonna get there with how much neck needs to happen. Chubby round face is huge. It's true. It's gonna be the biggest. Let's see, we got, yeah, I mean, like this is like a larger than life kind of character. So like when I do the proportions for this, like I'm honestly not even gonna cut the jaw until I like look at the face and I look at the rest of the character and I'm like, yeah, that's a bear. So like I already feel better about what I did. Zbrush has this lovely undo history timeline at the top. I started streaming at 11:50 or 10:55. So if I roll this back to where I started around, yeah, perfect, 11:05. As long as I don't like make a change, I won't fuck it up. So there's this. There's the character before, and here's what I've managed to do in 5 minutes. Not very much, but you see where I'm getting at. You can kind of roll back and forth. It's a nice feature, but that looks a hell of a lot better front on, and you can roll that same trick back and forth. So like there's the not front on, and then there's the front on. So obviously adding weight is adding to the bare nature of the character. Like that's definitely the way to do it. So the next thing I'm noticing as I'm doing the proportions is that he's got nothing for shoulders. And I think the problem with that on this character isn't that the shoulders of the skeleton is bigger. I think there's just going to be more shit up here. So what I want to start with first is just like a shoulder inflate. Because I was going to do a move. I was just going to move the shoulders, but I think that would have created the wrong effect. Because if I roll it back, so I did the inflate, like it's doing what I want. I'm going to do a little better this time. I'm going to try to roll it up like that. Yeah, no, it's a fucking bear. Of course it's got hella neck. I was like worried about that meme that's been going around of like the skinny dude and like the dude with the enormous neck. And I was like, I don't want him to look like, I don't want the other kids to laugh at him at school. I think that's fair. I think that's a reasonable thing for me to want as a person. I don't think anyone's gonna laugh at this dude. So, I mean, unless he tells like a funny joke when he's drunk. So, yeah, I think I'm cool. I think I'm cool with that. I'm gonna start working on some other details here. And right now, I'm just using the inflate brush. Like the, oh yeah, okay. So, non-human character, right? Like that's fucking wrong. It doesn't matter that it's a bear. That's wrong. I've got to like like it looks cool here, but like in the back, like that profile is wrong. So I'm gonna move this a little bit. Bust this out. Perfect. There we go. And this will kind of let me do things with the posture as well. Like normally, not normally, but like one might think, oh, like we can do posing for this. But in this case, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to kind of rely on some of the tools that we have here, like move, to build out the character in that way. And we'll get rid of the seams and all that. I mean, obviously the character doesn't have seams there. But I like having the ability to switch back and forth between those models. And like I said, I wasn't going to move the shoulders, right? But the reason I'm not going to move the shoulders is I'm trying to maintain a skeletal proportion that's human. Let's see what we got here. Trying to get some imagery over here. And I will get used to these new Cintiq keys. Sorry that's taking me so long. I just want you to be bigger. There we go. Okay. It's looking right. And like if I turn, like sometimes the polyfill colors can get a little wacky. And they'll like make you think you're looking at a character with colors, and you're obviously not. Like, makes me think of Frieza because the damn purple shoulder pads. And I don't want to be thinking about Frieza. Like, yeah, this is good. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling what I'm doing here. I've just got to make sure that when I do things like that inflate, that I push the neck in as well as out. Otherwise, it'll have that squared off look that we had before. Because like right now, that looks right. I got a little bit of kind of spine action going. He's got a little bit of humpback. Got to take his damn iodine. We'll get there. Let's see here. Get this a little smaller. There we go. Curve that out. Smooth brush for laziness. Kind of get this guy in here a little bit. Round that out. Round that out. Yeah, I feel it. All right. Oh, don't feel that though. Oops. There we go. Alright, what else we got? I did not see who joined us. But welcome to the chat. We should be going for a little bit. Feel free to jump in and text me what you think and what you want to see. And if I'm not explaining something that's that makes any sense, or I'm babbling or whatever, let me know. Of course, it's a bring your own music stream, so feel free to listen to whatever you want, including me. I like what happened here with the jawline. I'm going to make him a little more mask and just a teeny bit. Fucking not the only bulge on this character. Oh, whoa. Oh, shit. There it is. But I need to see past his belly. Hold on. I need to get under. There we go. This damn you. Right, sure. Yeah. All right, and then from here we've got all that. I'm gonna start working, and obviously I'm doing this wrong. Like I shouldn't be doing it like this. I should be using the damn poly groups that I have access to. So I want this one. I want this one. No, god damn it. It's only gonna take a second, I promise. Poly, no. Zoom in a little, I guess. Poly, yes. And this one's gonna be even worse. Perfect. All right, and now I can zoom out. Oh, one of the ears too. Poly, okay. Okay, and when I zoom out, all the stuff that I don't want should be missing. Yes, indeed it is. And then after I do that, I can do this. No, it's the opposite of what I want. This. Yes, it's that flick motion, or click and drag. Perfect, so there's my bust. Very busty. And now I can do this. Yay, I can get under there easier to work on the neck. And even easier than that, so like I can, yeah, this is fine. This is good enough. That belly was in the way. Okay, cool. Shapes are looking fun and exciting here. Flatten out the nose a little bit, get rid of that wrinkle. I try to correct crap like that early on because it's just going to get worse if I don't correct it. Anytime I see a crease like that, I really try to snap it early. Zbrush always has my back. Saving my damn files. I want more cheek jowl here. Like right now he's looking like he's not had as many burgers as y'all know he's had. So I'm going to get rid of some neck. No, maybe I won't. Like that was correct. That felt right. Go back and look at my ref. Let's see here. Yeah, like this dude's like got so much goddamn neck. This guy's like the young adult version of this character almost. Gotta beef it up. Bitch, you are so big. I've never put this much neck on a character. All my characters have been little twinks. It's out of control. Seriously, go back and look at my other streams. Like, everyone is like not getting enough to eat. Their mom's worried about them. Like, are you doing drugs? Like, it's Thanksgiving. They're just out there puking in the toilet. Fucking anorexic. Alright. Alright, and now I'm gonna try to get that cheek gel stuff that I was talking about here. Such a bear. Perfect. Alright, let's go down here. Okay, something changed. Why did it change? I think it's because the jaw can't go out. The jaw has to be under. Yep, otherwise it looks like tigery. Mega buff tiger dude. Weird how that works. Like, little things will cue our mind into the Disney collective consciousness. Alright. Yeah, it's really weird how you change these little things and all of a sudden they stop. You stop getting the gesture of the character that you want. You can see how that changes just in that little space. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Where is it? Ah, found it. There we go. And the other thing I'm looking at is this character's got facial fur, like kind of like a goatee going on. I'm actually going to draw that in with the RGB tool, just so that I can kind of get an idea of where I want that to be. There we go. All right, I gotta turn off the poly colors for this. There we go. So I'm gonna finna, come on, there we go. So I'm gonna just kind of draw in some of the guides that are on this character so that I have a reference about what I'm looking at. Like, it's gonna eventually be like texture guides for where I'm gonna plant fur and fur color and things like that, which you guys have seen on my stream before. I think I showed you guys how I do that. But like, there's like the top of his mohawk hair tuft thing, and the ref image I have doesn't tell me about what goes on in the back, but I'll have it go down a little bit like that. Kodiak, what is does the character, like, is it like a short, is it like short, or is it like, is there stuff going on in the back? Tell me in the chat what goes on with that character. Doop, 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 doop. You guys can't hear my music though. It's really funny when I sing it to myself. Doop, 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 doop. I think like that. I think that's how Kodiak's gonna tell me to do it, but he might tell me otherwise. Alright, and I'm gonna get that goatee on. Alright. And like, I'm gonna model like approximately where it is, but like it's like it'll be like if he shaved it down, because obviously we're not gonna have it's kinda like a chin strap kind of thing there. There we go, perfect. Alright, so there's like the facial guides on the character. I'm also going to do black on the nose so I don't forget where that is. And then he's got these cheek markings, but those are kind of superficial. They're not going to tell me about where the cheeks go. So if that's... Okay. Yeah. So that's actually, as Kodiak said, it's like, oh, I never thought of that. Like, that's one of the cool things about doing work in 3D on your persona or someone else's persona. Like, you're like, oh, like, here's a part of my character that I've literally never thought about. Like, that's cool. All right, I realize I've already made some anatomical mistakes now that I've added the beard in. Yeah, there we go. Let's move this out. Because, yeah, like... Yeah, I think that'll work. And that's why I colored these in here, because it was going to be like... I was going to forget the shape of where things go. Like, I had the beard up here. There was, like, no room for a mouth. Even if it was closed, there was no room for a mouth. Alright, not bad. Let's just start. I'm going to bust back to that inflate brush. And I want to make sure on my smooth brush up here that Z add is on and RGB is off. So that anytime I smooth, I'm not losing the definition of my beard that I drew. Cool, it's not. Great, so now I should be able to start adding the roundness of the character. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Add some chin up in this, but not like that. Different kind of chin. I think I wanna move this out. Get some more jowl in there. Okay. All of that looks correct. Yep. This is looking like a bear. All right. Going back to the ref, like, and the ref is like a little bearish. Sorry, of course it's bearish, it's a bear, but it's got a little bit of, looking at it here. Like, again, I don't have an easy way to share it because it was sent to me in Messenger, because not everyone uses Telegram. I'm going to see if you guys can see that okay. It looks nice. And I'm going to see on the screen. Yeah, you guys can see that. Perfect. So that's the bust that I'm working with, to kind of give you an idea. Like, right now, it kind of looks like, what's his damn name? Grisser? I don't remember his damn name. It kind of looks like one of those characters. Which I like. I think they're good. Is it Grisser? No, it's someone else. It's the dude that Bradford. That's the one. This looks very much like a Bradford character right now. Not Grisser, Bradford. Shouts to all the perverts in the audience. All right, so this is looking about right. I'm gonna zoom out. Like, that's one of the things I've learned in ZBrush is that every time you don't do that, you get friggin' boned. So I'm just gonna get a little turntable. I'm gonna start looking at what we have. Like, he could, okay, so like, and this is like some of the, like, talking with Kodak previously, like, some of the things he said that he really, like, idealizes about the character is that, like, you know, it's like a heavy character. Like, he's big, he's fat, he's chubby. Like, no, chubby doesn't count. I don't, that's a couch on my side. No, the character is fat. It is a big fucking character. But also, it's like a heavy, like, muscle-bound character. It's really strong, so it's one of those, like, muscle gut types. If you remove, going here, if you remove the other traits of where males usually carry weight, this character, you could attach giant powerlifter arms, trim belly, and all that other stuff, and it would just be a power lifter, right? So that's kind of the aesthetic that I'm going for in certain aspects of the character when I'm starting to model it and do the proportions. I don't like leaving these. I used to do this a lot, where I would leave the eye sockets here for forever and work on a bunch of tertiary details. I have learned a lesson about that, and I think it's dumb to do now. Because I always end up having to do a shitload of work when I find out the eyes are in a totally bizarre place. And that's dumb. So I'm gonna fix that now. There's a button for this. Append. Like, and that's the other thing about ZBrush that's wacky. Like, this button opens up a gigantic submenu and it's taking up like a 1% of the screen. But such is ZBrush's bizarre UI practices. I just want a sphere 3D here. And I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to, oh no, undo. There we go. I actually want to be on the sphere when I do it. Again, I keep pushing the wrong buttons. All right, switch back to this. Okay. What button am I pressing on my... Sometimes, like, I forget. That's pan scroll. No wonder, yeah. Okay, so Shift, Alt, Control. Okay, now I can stop being dumb. There we go. That's the button I want. So this button unlocks when you press whatever button I'm pressing, Alt. And that's a good thing because it lets me move this up here, and then I can actually do the transform that I want. And it's about where I want it to be, so I'm going to start moving it. All right. Move you here, and then we'll start positioning it. I also learned a trick, which I am like 100% sure I put on the last streams that I did, which are on YouTube and everything else. What did I just do? That's not the trick that I learned, I promise. What the hell is that? Like a dupe button? That would be weird. What is going on? It is like a dupe button. Holy crap, I found a dupe button. That's okay, so I learned another new trick. But that's not what I'm trying to do, so just pretend I didn't do that. What I'm trying to do is alt scale this eyeball to be a size that's reasonable. I can't believe I found that. Like, and that's the thing with Zbrush too. Like, there's so many hidden damn shortcuts. Like, I feel like Photoshop is different. See, yeah, okay, so like this is what I'm talking about, right? Like with the eye, the character has like his face dented in, and you don't know that until you put an actual eyeball there and say like, yeah, we have to add meat around the eyes. It just gives you this weird illusion of depth, and like your brain fills in a bunch of information about the eye that's just incorrect, and then the rest of your sculpt gets wonky, and it's not good. So I think I like the size of that eye. Yeah, I think that's good. I think I'm happy with that. You guys will see me looking to the left every now and again. That's because I'm just checking the stream for chat stuff, make sure that I'm welcoming all the new people that show up and all of the people that are in the chat talking about stuff. So the trick that I learned that I showed on the last stream that I can show really clearly and easily now. I'm pretty sure you just go to geometry, you can go to deformations and like weld it. That's the thing I'm looking for, the weld. Yeah, modify topology. So if you do something like this, like you have an object here and you want it mirrored on the other side, I'm pretty sure mirror and weld just pops one over there. Yup, yes it does. One button click. Fucking awesome. And the nice part about this is it's all in the same subtool. So like I can, you know, turn this guy on and off, and it's mirrored in here. It's one set of objects. Now the one thing I usually forget to do when I go start rigging this is to separate these out into two different objects. But I'll do that in Maya. It's easier to select objects and do all that crap there. All right, so I've got eyeballs. Let's do this. Let's drop all this shit in. So I was using the inflate tool before. That is the eyeball. I'm not inflating the eyeball. There we go. Back to you. All right. So the inflate tool is like, has recently been my best friend. Like, I just think that it's the way to do business in ZBrush, because clay tubes will take forever to get to this point right here. Not the shitty crease that's here, but the part where it's like, hey, look, you need more geometry. And by the way, if you see things bulging out like this and like basically breaking at the polygonal seams, it's because you don't have enough geometry, probably. Or you're working on an optimized Yeah, not enough geometry. So, or you're working on an optimized. Right here. Or you're working on a mesh that's already been relatively optimized. So like, you know, a non-sculpty mesh, but your game-ready mesh or whatever you're working on. So I think I'm happy with all this. I'm going to now go back to my polylines. Because what I want to do now is take the lasso here. I just want to draw out like, oh, sorry. I just want to draw out an eye socket that's going to have the level of detail I want. That looks fine. I'm gonna zoom out. I'm gonna want, and the reason I want it just to be the eye socket is I don't want to add. I mean, all of this is gonna get retopologized, so I can be kind of lazy in my mind. I mean, if someone else knows differently, let me know. But I typically am gonna be pretty lazy about that. The retopology aspect when I'm doing the original sculpt, so I just go hog wild and get what I want inside of here. Now that I have the eyes where I want, I'm gonna just grab this poly group and flick it out. Oh, of course it doesn't work. Yeah, I gotta clear all my old selections. Hold on. Okay. So now when I zoom out, I can see the entire character. I'm gonna drop the poly lines for a second. We'll take a moment to take stock of the character. So there's this bear that we're working on. He's looking fine. We're gonna go zoom in and check out the eye. And did the same thing we did before. We're gonna grab, and I didn't annotate this last time in what I was saying. So I'm pressing, I believe it's Shift and Control, which gives me the masking tool, and then I can actually select which brush I want to grab the masking tool that I want. I'm gonna grab the eye socket that I feel is the appropriate starting point for adding more geometry, and I'm going to grab just those, and then I'm going to get rid of this. Perfect. So now I just have this kind of raccoon eye mask deal going on, and with that I can drop into the geometry panel, and I can where is it? Oh, it's just right up here. There's like glare on my Cintiq from the lamp up there. All right, drop to the lowest subdiv, realize that yes, this time I think I did grab enough, though honestly I always want a little more on that side crease. So the reason that it's important to do it at the first subdiv, well, not this, but anything, you can't do it at any other subdivs, but to grab the polygonal outline at the lowest subdiv level is that it'll make sure that when you go to do your division of this group that it's got enough. And yeah, it's still a little short. I'll roll this back. I just want more. I want like a little more over here. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, it's not enough. All right. Roll, 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 roll. Where were we? Go to the front. Okay, I'll roll back one. Oh man, it's a little sensitive, this little touch wheel. Oh well. This is honestly fine, I don't care. All right. Up, 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 up. And yeah, divide. Perfect. So now when I'm in here, I should see greater polylines. There's one more thing I want to do though before I do that division. I'm going to go into my poly paint. No, not poly paint. I want groups. I want poly groups, and I want a group visible. Also want to get rid of this. Thank you. Group visible. That's going to change the color of this and give it its own poly group, which sometimes is helpful. We'll find out in a minute if I needed to. But yeah, you can see now that I have a different polygroup in there. Higher resolution, and that'll allow me to start doing things like drawing eyelids, etc. All right, let's do it. Do I want... Yeah, I'm going to keep that off. I'm also going to keep the lines off. I'll keep the polygroups off for now. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting a lot more work out of that. That's good. We're still getting some creasing that I'm not happy about. And our retopology is going to handle a lot of that. I mean, it'll be aware of creases, but like all this nasty crap down here, see how it's doing that? That's because we subdivided lazily. But this is about wrap. Like my goal with this stream tonight and the next couple of weeks is going to be talking about rapid content creation and trying to discover for myself what some of the best ways of developing this content quickly. Because when I go to do my game project, I'm not going to have 8-hour days to dedicate to it. I'm going to have, 2 to 4 hours every night, because I'm keeping my damn day job. Anyway, start working this out. Some bare face action going on. Start working on that tertiary detail in a second. I do want to get his kind of upper lip going. Stuff's looking a little weird there. So bare face. Yeah, look at that. It's a bare face. All right. So I just wanted to start moving that around so that I could start doing the cheeks a little better. Yeah. All right. Let's do this up here. Look at my ref one more time. So I want to kind of emphasize the snout on this. This is a little short from the ref. And to do that, I'm going to grab the nose. I'm just going to move it out as a first step. It's looking about right. And then looking at the ref again. Yeah, he's got a little more snout than this, I think. I mean, it actually kind of worked. It's not what I want, but I kind of like what I did. All right. It might remind me how I want to proceed with this. So I move those up. Yeah, okay. All right. It's looking smart. All right. See, one of the problems with the black color in this shader for Zbrush is that it's a fucking pit on my monitor. Like I can't see any detail at all. So I'm gonna drop this to a gray, even though it's gonna kind of fuck things up a little bit. Yeah, like you can see now, like even probably on your screens at home, even probably on like a really nice iPhone screen, like you can actually see what the hell's going on there, which is kind of nice. All right, pop off the RGB, go back to Ziad. Yeah, because before I couldn't see how bulbous the nose was getting. So I'm going to fix that up. Stop. And right now I'm using the flatten tool, which is like way too high of a Z intensity. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with ZBrush, Z intensity is how high on the assumed Z. Oh, it's also doing RGB. I don't want that. Z intensity is relative to the tangent of the surface that you're modeling, that assumed Z, if that makes sense. So like right now I'm kind of in an orthogonal view. I'll turn off perspective. It doesn't really matter. But you can see like my pen here is held, well, I guess you can kind of see it. When my pen is like this, it's like this. And you also can't see the direction I'm going. That's okay. I guess my point with this is that when I press down on a ZBrush area on a voxel, it's calculating information about the curve of the surface. And when it says Z intensity, it's like, yeah, I don't have the Euclidean math geometry stuff down. I think the last time I took math was in high school. So anyway, you get the point. It assumes the axis from where the brush is basically. So it's not the actual like global Z. That's probably the best way to say it. It's not the global Z axis. It's the axis for your brush and what you're working on. And now you learned something new, or you didn't, and you're entirely bored by that, and you're like, just do the thing already. All right. And I know already, out of the gate, just with my habits with this tool, that I'm going to get so caught up making the character look pretty with a damn flattened brush that I'm going to forget what I'm doing, which is secondary details, like I'm adding, like primary details even, like I'm adding form to make the character the right shape. I really shouldn't be spending much more time with this tool. But I kind of like where we are right now. You ever like sit down in a chair and like forget that you fucking haven't eaten a goddamn thing all day? I think I had like a piece of pizza today. I've been really bad. Like, people are like, oh, he's getting the stream, he's tired. It's like, no, I'm actually like fucking really hungry. All right, let's see what we got. This is looking right. I'm gonna hit the inflate brush up top. See if I can, yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. And I think I really want to emphasize the front of the eyebrow here, and we're getting some scarring there. Yeah, because on the character, like, yeah, he's got like Beeftown eyebrows. I think it's one of the muscles he works out. So I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna see how it looks. Get rid of that shit. Get out of here. And I think my good friend Wintergreen is tuned in. What's up, dude? You retweeted my tweet, so I'm assuming you're here. And if you are here, sup, B. All right, what we got? I like it. I like what we're doing. It's a fucking bear, and he's a fatty, and he's got giant arms. Yeah, no, this is looking right. Now I kind of want to, all right, so now we can kind of see, like, there's all these details that are going on with the character. I'm going to do a little quick turntable here. If I can remember what buttons to push. There we go. So with this guy, yeah, I think it's time to start working on the other details that are involved with this character, because like that face is about where it needs to be. Like I could keep working on just the bust I don't think it's a mistake to like sit here and like just go, this is what I'm working on now, and not really do anything else until it's done. Like the majority of the character is entirely covered in fur, right? So the face is going to be extremely expressive because the way I've been modeling these, they work out pretty well once they're done. But like, I don't need to do like high-end muscle definition because that's where most of the long fur is. I did it. I yawned on TV. From all that winking. Fucking winking at dudes, being like, yo, hey, sup? You know what I mean? Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Say no more. I pop out a poly frame before I start doing stupid shit again. And I'm working on the head. Stop working on the head. Work on the body. Times like this, it's good to make sure that you are saving things. That's fine. Yep, place. And then one of these days I'm going to do a nice little tutorial on how to get Perforce up and running and do version control on binary files. Because it's cool. It's not that hard to do. It's not like it's open source, but for most small people, small projects, it's free. That's free as in beer, not free as in open source. But I don't know. Honestly, it's pretty good for binary. Okay. So what I want to work on now is I'm going to entreat my audience to send nudes. Just kidding. Don't send nudes. Actually, no. My phone's on my TV. Yeah, send nudes. Yeah, do it. Not of yourself, though, because that would be weird to ask for on Twitch. Send me porn so that I can find it on... Not porn. That's against Twitch's TOS, I'm sure. Send me tasteful content. Don't send me female presenting nipples, though, or Tumblr will have a fucking fit. I'm going to need some body references for the art. Now I was just finding a nice creative way to say that, Twitch moderators. Because while having a toony character is fun and nice, having a reference to decide what the hell you did is also fun and nice. Because like right now, like the spine's all fucked up. That's not how spines work. Like I'm like, oh, it's a bear. It's gonna do whatever the hell it wants. I'm like, no, I mean, it will. But this is wrong. It looks like an exoskeleton. Spines go like in, right? I need like a body reference of a heavy body building dude. Yeah, this is like a spine curvation issue. Let's try to fix that. And then I'm gonna grab boyfriend's gonna start lighting up my phone with fucking... But Tumblr's gone, so where is he gonna get it? I don't even know. Not gonna find it. It's gone forever. Come on, get out here. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I've gotta fix that. Like, it made sense at the time, because he had, like, the hella neck. And now it's making less sense as I continue to draw this out because I don't have a damn reference. I'm going to grab my A&P book because that, even at the end of the day, when you're, even when you're a bodybuilder and you're covered in fat or muscle or whatever, we all have the same spine. So I'm going to go grab that. I will be right back. It's just in the other room. I know right where it is, I promise. A&P book is get. There we go. I bumped my mic cable, which is garbage. Okay. So, let's bust back to another view here. 1 second. Yeah, it's that one. 2 and 3. Cool. So, with all this, let's sit and talk a little bit about A&P. This is the Big Bad A&P coloring book. Oh, look, it's even like legible and like you can read it because it's not mirrored inappropriately. That's awesome. That was a problem last time on the stream. So let's go look at the spine and how it's going to curve, and then we'll think about how we want. I also have a really nice book on sculpture in Zbrush about A&P from back in the 3.5 days that I'll pull out. So the thing with the skeleton, think about what I want to say here. Like, there's a curvature to the spine, right? Like, when you look at this, I'm trying to get it for you guys. Perfect. So, like, you know, your neck is kind of do the thing where it goes up right here and it goes out right there. But, like, the muscles of the deltoids are back here. So if he's in that stance, which I'll go back to. Think about this for a second. So, yeah, and this was really helpful for me last time I did this too, is I took a screenshot. Do I have GreenShot installed? I hope I do. God, I do. All right, so we'll take a screenshot here, and I will just copy it to clipboard, and I'm gonna put it into Photoshop. And we'll work over here. Oh my God, I have like 3 monitors in my brain. Where's my mouse? Oh my God, there we go. Okay, clipboard, paste. So with this character, I'm gonna do a little bit of annotation here. I'm gonna do it in red. Get out of here. Sorry guys. All right, red. So now I can draw red. Okay. So with this, get some red. My brush size where I want. All right, so let's take a look at this. So with our skeleton, which I can put in front of this camera too, just as easily, I guess. You know, we're just gonna draw this guy out. We're gonna draw out the skeleton on the character digitally to kind of make sure we are where we want to be. So I'm gonna get my A&P book. Telegram. I'm gonna look at it on my phone in case it's too exciting for Twitch. It's definitely too exciting for Twitch. And ooh, this one's not though. It like Tumblr's terms of service. You just keep sending those. Those are great. Those are excellent. Yeah, that's great. That's perfect. Yeah, okay, cool. So I've got some great A&P examples. I'm going to pull them up on Telegram because the first one that was sent was a little lewd, but the next ones are fine. And if Twitch disagrees, they'll find another platform. They can eat my ass. Let's find it out here. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, this one was good because this dude had like hella neck. I'm just gonna let's see here. All right, now if I'm just super careful. Hey, Kodiak, can you do me a favor and delete the first picture you sent just so I don't accidentally scroll through it? And when you've done that, I'll move over our Telegram chat and we can all check it out. Of course, you're delayed on hearing me, so it's going to take a second for you to do that. Can I delete it? Holy shit, I can delete other people's messages? That's so cool. Never mind, don't worry about it, dude. All right, here we go. All right, so this is like a really great example. You guys can see all my retarded stickers. They're so dumb. Get out of here, dumb stickers. Boop. There's a way to close this. And I did it. Good for me. So let's line up all of this nonsense over here. All right, so that is nonsense over there. That's nonsense over there. Okay, great. Now I need the AMP coloring book just a little less because Christmas has come early and Santa daddies are all over my TL AF. All right, here we go. One of these is auto scroll zoom, right? Okay, and then this button's pan. Yes, thank you, Jesus. All right, let's do this. So this is gonna give me a good idea about how, like, I mean, unrealistic for anyone without a hell of a lot of dedication and probably steroids. Oh, just kidding. I'm not gonna neg that dude. Fuck that. I'm better than that. All right. The first thing I don't like about the character that I've drawn is that his skull's really flat. If we look at this character, if we look at this photo, there's a lot more cranium going on here. So if I drew this character's skull, it would kind of start here, and then we have like the anthro, like forward jawline that goes into all this, right? But that's not really what we're about. What we're about is finding out the proportions of the human skull. So like this is like, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I think I see what I did wrong here. So what I want to do, I think, is I want to bring this up, bring like the cap of the skull up, because I've got the ears here. So if we look at a bear skull too, or any mammalian predatory skull, you're gonna see that the I'm going to look it up because I'll impress everybody with how smart I am. I have like flippy notes in here, but I forgot how they work. There it is. So you can see this in the muscles of mastication section on the AMP book, the AMP coloring book. It's also here. There we go. But basically, it's like... Damn it, I want the bone one so we can all speak the same language here. What is it? Anyway, there's like this. I think this is the zygomatic process or something like that, and this is the orbital bone of the eye, and there's all this stuff. This stuff here, right? So when that all connects, this character is going to have an orbital bone here, the occipital process or whatever. Zygomatic process? I don't remember. I'm not a doctor. There's all this stuff happening, and then like all of that kind of combines together into a little divot, which is like where all the ear stuff goes, and like all the jaw muscles come up under that to like move the jaw muscle around. So like doing this process will help us figure out where everything goes. So I'm just gonna roll those back. So I do want to push the skull up, kind of see what that looks like. Because, like, let's see what else we have here. Like, just, like, dudes with big necks and big shoulders, like, it's kind of hard to see where, like, some of these faces like start and stop because there's just like so much going on. But I also realized that like this particular skull top here is not actually what I want. What I think is I just want to, maybe I want to push this neck in. Testing. Okay. Got to get a new XLR cable. So what I'm thinking I want to do is I want to cut that back a little bit. Come on, do it. There we go. Do it. That's fine. Brush. So I just want to cut this back a little bit. And then what I think I'm going to do is, let's get that skull drawing in there. So there's the nose bone hole, and I might want to move the eyes back a little bit, at least in this view. So what I'm doing now is I'm just in my head, I'm filling where all the holes are in the skull, because that's kind of like a key connector. And then like there's this, and then like that's like the base of that, which then goes to here. There's a hole here. Yeah, I really do think I want to move the eyes back a little bit. No, I don't. I actually like where the eyes are. Just my eraser. Let's try that again. So like, I think I'm happy with where this is, which is like going to be the underside of the jaw, like right here. I think I'm happy with where the ear hole is. If this is the eye and this is the nose, I think positionally this fantasy character works out okay. And then let's see what other stuff we have here. Like that's a nice view of the side. Like people that have this much mass have that kind of rounding of the neck. And if we go back to our ZBrush here, I'm going to take another screenshot of this guy from the front and from near the front. Print screen again. Grab that, copy to clipboard, go back to Photoshop and open our Telegram ManMeet browser. I'm going to make a new document here. Paste. All right. And then I can use a zoom. There it is. Zoom in there. Go here. Get our pan. All right. So with this, we can kind of also do a quick style check on where we are. So like, honestly, between the lower jaw right here and the top of the shoulder right here, I think this is too much space. I think I can bring the whole head down. Like even if like I'm standing, God damn it, things suck. How's that? Yeah, there we go. So I think that I can bring this whole thing down. Because even if I'm like standing up and like pushing my neck out and like doing proper posture, this is really I think I don't know, but like a bear too, like when you think about a bear like a creature in nature and not a creature at a bar, when you think about bears, I kind of personally have this kind of imagery going on in my head. And I'm just going to zoom in here and this is going to get the brush size down a little bit. All right, so here I'm going to draw. I'm not good at drawing. So like when I think of a bear standing up on its hind legs, like I've got like this kind of plantigrade bottom. And then like I really like the first thing I see when I see a bear in my mind is the nose, the face, the ears, and then they've got like this trapezius for days. Like they're a diamond shape. Like that's a bear. It's a fucking bear. I'm afraid of the bear. I'm finding this like the stupidest drawing ever. But like shape-wise, like, oh, here, I'll do this in a different way, so I look like a little bit less of an idiot. Like, if we think about what a bear looks like, if it's just a dark shadow in the night, get my damn color palette over on the same screen. Like, if we think about what a bear looks like in the shadow of the night, it's, you know, like, it's this. See, I suck at Photoshop. It's embarrassing. Alright, so, like, this is the idea. It's just got, fuck, it's so dumb. Anyway, you got the idea. It's it's so bad. Bear. So with this, my thought is that this is too tall. The shoulder, like, the other thing I want to get, and we're going to do this when we do tertiary details, is that there's a roundness here. There's like a roundness that I want to articulate in this character, because I'm not getting that right now. So if we look here, the features that I want to emulate, like for right here, like the strong jaw is mostly defined by the beard. And on the particular character that I'm looking at too, the ref sheet, he's kind of got like some jowl too. So what I want to do is kind of move the neck jowl that you see on this model right here. I kind of want to move it up here. Let's see if I can find a better way of representing that. So like what's down here, I want to move up here, like, if that makes sense, that roundness that you see right there. There's a back photo towards the bottom. All right, let's check it out. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're safe. We did it, Reddit. We did it. We're safe. That's actually a really good photo. That's perfect. So if we look at how all this is going to go, so yeah, there's that neck stuff going on there. So what I'm going to do is bust up brush size here. Kind of get some just form, just talking about form and motions and lines. I can kind of articulate all of those thoughts in my head a little better. Oh, damn it, I've been coloring directly on the layer. Oh well, I'll probably keep doing that, honestly. Well, no, there's no reason. I don't have to be lazy. Come on, new layer. All right, so like, and I'm seeing this on all the models that we're talking about here. Like, it's like, so you see on both of these, like the is this the deltoid? I promise, guys, I'll get better at this. Show me the back. Okay, those are back bones. There we go. Scapula. Oh, show me the neck. This book makes no sense. Where's the butt? I don't want the butt, not the neck. Yes, perfect. So, it is the trapezius. I remembered something from freshman year phys ed. All right, so like the traps that are here, like on, you know, that triangle shape that we're talking about. I want it to be a little bowed out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about, in this particular character study, I want this to happen. It can't be an up motion like that. It can't be an up arrow. It needs to be like a down arrow like that, like, because that one's like that. Okay, I hope that all made sense. All right. So while we're doing this and we're deciding on how this guy is going to look, I also kind of think, so bad. I kind of think that, what's we got here? Like, yeah, I mean, every one of the models we're looking at has kind of that shape right there. And like when you're doing the A&P books, like you don't really get to see extreme, right? You don't get to see people doing extreme A&P stuff where like people have done all this intense work. So if I like do the shapes that are here, like, and that's the other thing I'm noticing on a lot of these on all of these models is that like there's like this square or triangular shape for the jaw, like, and it's because it's highlighted by facial hair, right? Like this guy's got a goatee that's right here, but there's, after that, I'm gonna do it in a different color here. There's like that shape that goes up to the eye, so it's like this. Perfect. Yeah, I think that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So like right here, there's that triangle shape. Like for here, I kind of had to fudge it. What I think I want to do is I want it to be like super square. I think it's that square jawline that people are talking about. So I'm going to move the jaw down like this for the character, which means that it's going to have kind of like a down. We're going to move that down a little bit. And these are kind of like plastic surgery notes, essentially, for how we're doing these characters. Like I imagine like the chest. So all these guys have pretty big chests. Let's see what else we have here. Like, all right. Like I like this one a lot because, well, he's cute. But beyond that, I like the definition we're seeing in the muscles. I'm gonna pull out the shape of the upper arm here and give it more of a triangular kind of shape. And then I gotta like remember, like there's that part of it and then this one. So this is gonna come out and be more triangular as well, I think, because like these guys are just bulging, huge. So like that's kind of the shapes that we'll be looking at there. All right, I think I've got that okay. All right, and then I'll come back. No, I don't know if I want to come back to the gut. I think I'm going to do it now. So I want to move. You can't see it on this photo as well, but I want to move this area. I think there needs to be, like, he's just a little too trim. It just looks like his gut is distended instead of he's heavier. So what I want to do is kind of move that up. I'm going to move this up a little bit, and I'm probably going to make kind of a little more fat around the pectorals to kind of get, okay, I think I'm seeing where we're going with the aesthetic of this character here. Like, okay, but on this body type, and I have to decide too, like it's not like there's a right and a wrong answer for this, right? Like we're taking artistic license and picking the things that we like and don't like. We can see kind of the shapes that are being spelled out here. Like on this one, there's a nice kind of divot right there, and that comes from, okay, and he's out like this. So I think on the pose, like here we can see that we've got some big shapes we want to add. We're going to want to bring this out because like there's no gap between the bottom of the pectoralis and the bottom of the bicep. Pectoralis, I don't know if that's correct. Whatever, like, you know, the bottom of the pec and the bicep, there needs to be, we need to bring in both sides there so they come together, because I like the idea that the gap happens between the elbow and the belly. And then because the character works out and is strong and all these things, like this model has this going on, because like this going on right there, because they don't have the belly, right? So I've got to decide, like, since this character skips, crunches, and eats a lot, how I want to do some of this. Because, like, we're going to get the big shoulders. Okay. It's all kind of clicking. There. Alright, I think I know what I want to do, kind of now that I have those references where I want. I'm thinking about dropping the Zbrush to the side. I want to get rid of some of these toolbars here. Hold on. Oh, perfect. That's great. Because they'll just go away when I'm done with them. And then I'll just do this. And then I should be able to do this. No, I have to get out of full screen first. So just adjusting the window here so that I can see my ref and see my workspace. Cool, let's do it. So here we are, here's our bear. Let's think about these edits first. And I like the way I set this up. I like the way I set up the way I'm thinking about this, because I did it at an orthogonal snap, so I can always come back to it to see if I've done enough work. So I said here that I was going to draw a square, but I want to work on the arms and the kind of secondary details of the body first. So I'm going to do that, and I think I'm going to do that with the inflate tool to start, because it does tend to make kind of muscly, fatty things happen. And I'm going to start rounding this out. I've got to move it around enough because it's going to get wrong. I can't just look at this one area. It's going to get screwed up. And I also need to think about it from the muscle perspective of like AMP and all that. So the real place that this should be expanding is like right here. I'm going to move it around a lot as I do this. And then I said on the other one here that I wanted to try to like bring that in together, that gap. So I'm going to add some fat here already. And honestly, it'll come together, but I have to also think about how I want this to rig. This is not a static model. And that's just looking weird. I'm going to roll some of this back. Okay. Or maybe it's not that weird. That's actually not bad, because then, like, that's actually looking kind of interesting. I just got to keep rolling it around. But the thing that I have to worry about is if I do things like bridge the gap like that, when I go to rig this, it's going to be a effing nightmare to get together, right? Because Maya and all the rigging tools I have are going to be very insensitive to that. I think there's things I can do with polygroups, but I haven't found a workflow yet where it's been like, oh, like use these pixel groups or geometry groups to inform, you know, where the heat map is going to be for rigging. I just have to paint it, and painting rigs in Maya is so bad. It's so dumb, and I hate it. It's like my least favorite part of this process. So I'm going to just experiment for a second here. I don't like what I did. I like what I did, and I don't like what I did. I like what I did because it got some area here. That's, I don't know. I don't know if that's right yet. The other thing is the belly is pretty big, so I'm gonna just kind of add a little. No, that doesn't make any sense. Like, because here's what's going on in my head, not Bear. What's going on in my head is this. A perfectly toned and well-built bodybuilder with no body fat on him would have something like this going on, right? Because the rib cage is right here, and it goes up through the sternum, and then there's all that stuff, right? So everything hanging off of here is, you know, attached to the muscle that's here, like, and then kind of distends out at times. There might be hernia and other things that kind of come with that extreme weight. But my thought is, because I was thinking to myself, like, oh, should I add like some up here, like some shapes up here? I don't think so, because the muscle's still going to be down here, right? And it may be a little different because it's got such a high fat content, but then the fat is basically just going to hang off of it. So I've got to decide kind of how I want to render that, right? Quit getting lewd in my chat. Just kidding. Just talking about balloons. Inflate a balloon. Doop, doop, doop. Alright, I like what I just did there. And again, the reason I like that is if we go back to the Telegram for our selection of man meat, like we've got these shapes right here, and I think that's what I'm doing when I add this stuff up here, right? And I am gonna bust out the flatten tool for some of this, because we are getting to kind of that secondary detail mode, and we can stop thinking about shapes as much. Not shapes, but you know, like this shit. I'm gonna stop thinking about that as much and start thinking about the cohesive character that's kind of coming together. And that means doing some flatten tool every now and again in my little world. Quinceañeras are places where you can get a bounce house. It's true, it's science. I heard it from my Meemaw. Alright, so this is giving me some value here. Like, I want to... Oh, no. Oh, yes, there we go. I think I can do that, right? I'm actually gonna close this panel if I can figure out how. There we go. Because I want my draw size tool to be there. Excellent. Because I want to do this. Yes, there we go. That's going to start giving me the shapes that I want. And like, we have to remember too, and I'm going to go to my A&P book for this because, again, it's all here. So the way that the latissimus dorsi connects to the, you know, spine of the scapula, the deltoid, all this stuff. So the brown part that you're looking at right here, and the yellow part, like I'm trying to define the shoulder correctly. And what I'm gonna try to do is just keep in mind on how it all kind of comes together here. Because at the end of the day, a believable character is just more believable when you don't have to ignore weird crap that's going on. Roughs are one thing, but they're not three-dimensional. They're not like 3D scans. You know what I mean? Like I can't use them as fact, because a lot of times the camera is going to play tricks on the eye, and I have to be able to move things around and render them. Like, see, this like looks good as I'm moving it around, but like I stop it and it's like, no, that's wrong. Let's try this again. No, I'm fucking this up. Let me roll this back. Sometimes you just gotta recognize that, like, cause like this is looking good. Like this is starting to look right. I think where I'm getting screwed up here. It's okay. So I'm gonna start carving out this area for the spine. I'm gonna smooth it as I go because I realized like I've got like this thing. I'm gonna show you in color. I've got like this thing going on here, and like. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm looking to do. But it can't be out, it has to be in. So I'm going to just brute force those changes in here. I'm going to do that with the flatten tool. I'm going to try that out. So I'm just going to try to, I just want to shape the scapula here. Like I want to see that, like how that connects. And I guess I can draw it real quick. Like if I'm thinking about this, like here's the spine. There's our spine. Here's the spine of the scapula. It's a little small. What the fuck is this shit? Why is it doing this? Oh, this has got dots on. Hold on. I want freehand. All right, there we go. So there's this. There's the spine. It's still weird. Why is it weird? Is there a texture on it? Whatever, I don't care. So there's the spine of the scapula. No, that's not right. Thinking about the collarbone. Spine of the scapula is going to be, so it's going to connect to the collarbone right here, and then it's going to kind of come around the side, and then it goes to the bony plate thing. Why is it not coloring how I want? It's weird. Focal shift, whatever. So then I think that's the scapula, right? That's what they call the spine of the scapula, that bone. Pretty sure. It's like there's, why is this doing that? That's really weird. The draw size is too low. Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of got like a, it's weird. I wonder what's going on with that, because maybe it's like pressure or something. Anyway, here's the scapula. God, it will not draw correctly. So there's that, and then yeah, you guys get the point. Roll it back. All right. Back to flatten. Turn off RGB. I bet it was because I was using the flatten brush. So the problem that I was just having is I was trying to use the flatten tool for RGB, and I really shouldn't have been. I should have been using something really simple like the standard brush with RGB, because I bet this will just work now. Watch. Yup. So there's the spine, there's the scapula, there's the spine of the scapula coming around to the collarbone. Yeah, you see how much easier that was? How much time that saved? So it was a little bigger than that. There's the scapula. Okay, so now that I have that, let me think about this. That's where all that is. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to use the flatten brush. I'm going to get my draw size up, and I'm just going to hammer this down, because there's no muscle here. There's not supposed to be. Go back to that standard brush because it was doing me right. Oh, I gotta get Ziad. Yeah, oops. This on. I want this on freehand. There we are. It's hot. See intensity up. Because what I want to do here is I just kind of want to cut, and I can kind of let the consequences be damned with this particular tool. So I just want to divot, and the simple tool is so effing good at making that divot. Okay, so now that I've got my divot for where the spine is, I'm also going to kind of think about where the divot for the scapula is going to be like, so that's like, if this is a skinny dude, you couldn't see any fat, like that would be right there. And I'm going to kind of build around that. I'm going to build around that divot. And I'll fix all this with the flatten, right? I may start doing that soon here. Let's see. What's going on? Oh, no Ziad. No, it's way too heavy. Draw size up a little bit. There we are. Perfect. Except not really. Zbrush. The frustrating maker. There we go. Alright, here's fine. Then I'll flatten from here. Okay. This is not doing what I want. I kind of just wanted to show where that was, I guess. I just wanted to remind myself where that was. I'll use the flatten tool globally on that space. And that'll start making more sense. So then now I'm noticing that there should be stuff here. There should be fat. There's not. So let there be fat. That's kind of what I'm talking about. And we can use that to bring it together. And he's just got hella delts and all that. Also, that waist is not how it works. We're gonna have to fix that. There we go. I know I did a bad thing here. Hold on. But like, I mean, it's cute, but it's not realistic. Like, people are gonna be like, why is he carrying around all this weight on his front but not on his back? So I'm gonna, we'll come to this. I think I had some good pictures of the bodybuilders that were doing that. And when, again, I was talking about like the curve of the spine earlier when I started streaming, it's really not the curve of the spine. I mean, it is. There's curve of the spine. But like, it's not like about making the divot do the curving. It's about making the flesh, like right here, do the curving. To kind of show the illusion of movement up and down the spine. That'll be good. All right, I'm spending too much time here. Whenever you get blocked, you start focusing on one thing. It's becoming a tertiary detail, and if you're working on tertiary details, that's great. We're not. We're working on secondary details. So I'm gonna pop back over to. I thought I had Telegram open. I could have sworn I had Telegram open. Oh, it's right here. That means I'm getting tired. Let's go to some of our models here. I like this one the best. I'm trying to decide how to look. This guy. All right, I'm gonna move him over here. Oh, that's OBS. Get out here, OBS. Yeah, there we go. Now I can see these guys too. Cool. All right. So yeah, first thing I notice, Jesus, arms are just enormous. So let's make that happen. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get the armpit separated. I might have to do a T-pose in order to do that. So the arms will be out and then I'll be able to bind it a lot better. But for the sake, actually, God, what am I talking about? No, that's actually okay. I can model this in this way and then I can drop in and I can grab the groups that I want. And I can move these all into a T-pose. I'm going to validate that statement now. I haven't tried doing that in Zbrush, but I think it'll actually work pretty good. So I'm going to try to move all these together. We'll just make sure that it's not a fool's errand. So now that I've got those hidden, I can flip Oh, not like that though. I can flip it, and then I can mask out the area, and then I can flip it again, and then I can invert that mask, and now I have just the arms selected. So now that we're in the arms space here, we can go to the move tool, and the move tool is also enabled. What the hell? I'm doing wrong here. What am I doing wrong? Oh, it's because I'm on the mask, duh. All right, I'm pressing Alt, right? What are my damn key bindings? Sometimes I forgot. Shift, Alt, Control, and then pan scroll. Shift, Alt, Control. So I want an Alt click. Perfect. So what I was saying is that the what's it called? This is symmetry enabled. So you can see the little dot here and over here. It's symmetry enabled. So I'm going to find a nice rotation point on the axis here. I'm going to reset. Alt. I'm going to reset the rotation, and then if I'm right, it should be simple as just doing this. And I'm just going to do like a 75 degree there. I think that's pretty good. And then we've got our T-pose. Now the muscles didn't deform how we want because ZBrush isn't doing any of that information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this the muscles that we have here, and I'm going to just isolate this guy because what I want to do is show you. I want to show you guys that like basically up top here we had like some muscle details, and like those are now rotated into the body. So like that's the equivalent of me like it's clipping essentially, if that makes sense. It's clipping. And I could merge these meshes together, and that would enable me to have it like fold and wrinkle. But I don't know if that's really what I'm looking to do. And I say that because I think it just might be a better way. So I'm gonna move this so you guys can kind of see here like how those are all connected. I think I should just be able to, like the rotate kind of makes sense, but like, so this is where it started, right? You guys see how I kind of used that shoulder mass there to do that. So I'm just gonna make sure that I'm representing the shape that I want. And as long as I'm happy with the shape, because all this is going to get retopologized anyway, as long as I'm happy with the shape, I think I'm going to be okay with the move, because the arms are going to be the same proportional size that I've been trying to do. And yeah, so let's go back to our model. Yeah, I think I'm good with this. So let's go back to our model study here. Oh, I'm not quite good with that. Hold on. I think I'm going to be able to do like a clay brush and an inflate, and should be able to take care of all that. Let's see where it goes. We're just experimenting. So let's do it. I'm just going to pop. Yeah. Pop the inflate right quick. Drop our draw size down, and I'm going to do kind of... I'm just going to try to enunciate the armpit a little bit here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And then the creases here are all going to go away when we retopologize as well. So I'm not super worried about the creases. For now, they're kind of just giving me a visual guide about what I want. But this fold doesn't exist in the body. Like if we look at our model here, like if he did that, if he moved his arms up and out, would there be a fold? I have a picture of the back. Let's do that real quick. We had one of these bodybuilders here. Like, yeah, so we can use our imagination here. If we use this model's arm and we, in our minds, rotate it, like there's going to be a separation between the side of his chest and the bottom of the bicep. And there's going to be rounding out, there's going to be a rounding shape here. It's going to round out. This will bulge. But there's nothing like this. There's not like that weird secondary, whatever this muscle is. It's this. Deltoid. There'll be no deltoid movement here. It looks like there's like a weird secondary deltoid. So what I want to do is I kind of want to eliminate that real quick. I'm going to do that by popping on my poly group. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to mask it. And I'm going to flip it. And I'm going to rip it and skip it. There we go. There's all this shit. So now that I've got just that selected, I'm going to try to move things around in a way that's going to be advantageous for the look. Because remember, this isn't like a... there we go. Oh, this button, reset. There we go. This isn't a like medically accurate model. It doesn't have to be suitable for students to do learning on. It needs to be an illusion that allows us to quickly create characters for video games. That's my goal. So we don't, like that. That makes sense. Okay, so here's what I did. I'll show you guys again. I basically just moved that shape back, and that kind of gave me more of what I was looking for there. I think I'm happy with that. I think I'm happy with how that's going to roll. We haven't done kind of a bumper in a bit here, so while I continue to illustrate here, I'll tell you guys a little bit about what I'm doing. So I'm working right now in Zbrush. I'm developing a character concept for a friend of mine who's in the chat, and it's a bodybuilder, muscle gut bear kind of character. And we are going through this. We're going to make a animation ready model, which will be suitable for use in Unreal Engine. I'm using Hairworks in the Unreal Engine to drive real-time fur, and we're making VR experiences as a visual novel one day. And right now I'm kind of just warming up again after having not been in the practice for a few months. I'm Ruxbat, aka Connor, and this is my streamy. So that's a bumper for you. Let's do this. He has no butt, which is something insane to say because I've inflated this butt like 1,000 times. But compared to the rest of the body, like he's got no ass. Am I wrong about that? Like, comment, and subscribe if I'm wrong about the ass. No, it's flat. No, it's legit flat. Like, no, I gotta fix that. Like, and that's the thing with ZBrush and like with these 3D like any 3D modeling software. It doesn't matter if you're using Mudbox or Blender or whatever. Like when you, come on, baby. When you are doing all this editing and you're locked in an ortho position like this, ortho meaning orthogonal, you gotta keep moving it around because you just don't have this shape in your hand. You don't have the ability to come back and look at it. So I'm gonna kind of do a little bit of this. Let's see here, go back to some of our, I want to do the back a little now because this was the other thing we were talking about, is that the back of this waist is impossibly small, right? Like when I come in here, we need to add, I think that's getting better for the look and feel of the character. It's about right. I was looking at like the backs of these models and I was just going like, it's not possible that the back's gonna look like that. Yeah, okay, I think I'm good with that because Kodiak, those back pictures were helpful. All right, let's bust into, this is a little too pert. There we go. Thick thighs. Save lives. Or end them in a sumo wrestler grip. And we know that the size of the biceps are correct because when we did our study, well, we don't know, but we hope. When we did the study here, we wanted to, where is it? Yeah, we wanted to bring those in and kind of have the arm, the bicep touch the side, kind of like we were seeing in the models. And we're getting that. So when we moved it out, that's kind of why I wanted to model it the way I did, with the arms to the side. But now that we have this, I can kind of come in here and I can add weight to the chest without worrying about my my rigging process, the skinning and rigging process being a nightmare because I won't be able to separate the arms, which is why I'm now probably for the remainder of this exercise going to be modeling and sculpting in the T pose, which is not a natural pose. But I'm trying to get like a rapid content delivery pipeline going so that, like, you know, I get fast at this, I can make new characters quickly, things like that. So I'm going to start working on the stomach a bit, and I've got to make some decisions about exactly how I want. Come on, baby. There we go. I gotta make some decisions about how this stomach's gonna work, and if we go back to these guys here, I think I'm getting it. I think I'm getting how this shape is supposed to be. Pull this back a little bit, kind of make it square. Like, it's still got to be a pot belly, I think, because the character is built. But it's gonna be very round still. But I think we gotta add some definition for where the muscles are that are doing work. All right. I think I'm feeling good about that. I'm going to move on to the pecs because I feel really sad about them right now. They're depression, vaporwave pecs. Drink too much Robitussin. All right, the first thing I'm noticing here is there's just like a divot here. So let's fix that. Okay, that actually fixed that. Yeah, let's get rid of that divot. So we got this chest up here. We've got our process going here. All right, now I'm just gonna add a little, I'm gonna use that standard brush again to kind of demarcate where I want things like the scapula to be. It's good at drawing that stuff, rendering that. So I'm working out exactly how I want this. I'm gonna use the move tool a little bit. I'm gonna start doing that. Like, yeah, that's wrong. Okay. Bust out the draw size a little bit. Move it back. Because he's not this thin, and that's what I'm realizing is that you don't really see the scalp. I mean, you see this. You see the collarbone on some of these guys, but like it's like a hint of it. It's like you see it in the absence of muscle. I think like here you can see it pretty clearly, but they're also hunched forward and, you know, lifting their pectoral muscles. So it's all right. Let's see what we got. Let's see if we can get this worked out because I don't like how that looks. It's close. It's not what I want. I'll just kind of soften it and we'll kind of just have the illusion of it, a hint of it. As we continue in bear mode here, get out, there's this. I'm gonna try the inflate tool here. I don't think I'm gonna be satisfied with what comes out of it. And I think the reason why is that it's a little wonky. I'm gonna flatten this out. I'm gonna give the character just a totally flat workspace on the chest to start with. Cause like that looks correct. Like I think I actually need to subtract a little more, and then I can kind of add around it. So I'm gonna bust back to this standard brush, and we'll cut in through here, kind of start illustrating some of those things that we want. All right. Yeah, like I'm starting to see the illusion that I'm looking for here. All right, let's cut this way. There we go. That's better. So that's coming together. And then I can kind of, I'm going to use rake because I want to kind of do a particular process here. I just want to start forming it. Normally I do clay tubes. I haven't done rake in a little bit. But I think it's going to work for what I'm looking for. I'm also going to drop I have to drop the resolution. Increase the resolution a little bit. So I'm just going to divide everybody because I've got a giant PC and it'll be fine. So I'm just going to start raking down here. I mean, I could have been nicer about it and just did the torso, but I want to start moving. So start doing this. And the reason I like rake for this kind of task is it's, in my mind, drawing muscle fibers. Like it's giving me the illusion of that, whatever that French term for skinning a cat is or whatever, like it's in the, it's like reductionist or something. I don't know. There's a process that sculptors use where they start by modeling a skeleton and then they will add muscles as they appear on the character by literally drawing them up, by literally pulling out the muscles with their tools and their clay tools. And then they'll smooth it out, which is what I'm doing here with the smooth tool. And that process will begin to create a very accurate sculpture. And I, for whatever reason, cannot remember the name of that process. I'll go look it up in my little book later. And so I'm going to just get that done there. And then I'm going to bust into flatten because it got a little chunky. Draw size up. Yeah, this is looking right. I'm going to get really excited about continuing this tomorrow. I do have work tomorrow. It's 1 in the morning. I think most of my streamer friends here are local in Denver, so y'all should get to bed too, right? I'm going to be picking this up on the regular. I'll be trying to do this every day for a couple hours. There will be breaks and things like that, but I might set up a stream schedule. Again, one of the reasons that I am streaming is that I genuinely think that I get more work done when I'm in a teaching mode, when I'm trying to explain what I'm doing and the things that I've learned, because it breaks up the monotony of actually doing the work. This process is greatly fun and enjoyable, but for whatever reason I have a hard time motivating at a certain point. I'm gonna leave this right here. I'm happy with this. So let's zoom out. Let's take a look at what we did with the character today. First thing I'm gonna do, because I'm about to do something dangerous, I'm gonna save it. And then let's do a little turntable. So here's our guy. He's looking kind of like a bodybuilding bear. We did a little bit of work on the face today. It's still in its secondary forms. We haven't cut a mouth yet. We drew where the facial hair was going to be because that was a guide from the rough sheet that we were using. We added a variety of... Let me zoom out like a human being. Thank you. We added a variety of weight to the character. And we worked on that back actually doesn't look too awful. Okay. So yeah, we started on the chest. We did a good job with the head got all that kind of together. And I think we did a pretty good job of using some reasonable references. Kind of got these together as our references. And that looks pretty good. Let's do something fun. So I started doing this earlier today at 1 p.m. I'm going to draw it back to 1 p.m. And that's why I saved it. That was the dangerous thing that I was doing, is doing a revision of, where I'm rolling back 1,800 revisions. And I do believe this is a CPU intensive process. Might even be single threaded. Yeah, it's single threaded. I'm using 1% of my CPU. So fun. Okay. That's done. So you guys can see kind of where I started with this. This is the character that was. I'm going to take a screenshot because this will be fun. Do a white. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. That would have been the dangerous thing. If I had just done a change there and was on some kind of auto accept, I would have lost all the work I did. Why I saved. So let's take a screenshot of this. This is where we started. I'm just going to save directly. Actually, that might go to a folder that I can't access when I'm on Twitch for reasons. And then I will, I'm going to copy this to clipboard. I'm going to pop Photoshop. Doop, doop. So we get this guy together here. And create a new file. And clipboard. Pasty paste. All right, and now we're going to bust forward all the way to the end. And again, this will be a single threaded process as it goes through, but there we go. Print screen. Well, we just do it side by side, but I kind of want to do an illustration of what we did. I'm talking about clipboard, and then image. I'm just gonna paste it. So actually, I am gonna keep drawing. So I'm gonna stick on my Cintiq here. Image, canvas size, this thing, percent. 300. There we go. All right, so we got these side by side now. So here's our side by side. Like, we did some work, but the thing that I want everyone to kind of notice that cares is that the proportions, like, grab a red here. There we go. I guess I'm in grayscale. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so the red, yeah, the whole thing's in grayscale. What the fuck? There we go. Whatever, that's fine. Oh, whatever. God damn you. So there's the red. All of these proportions are the same. The reason I like that is because I like the proportions on the kind of the base model. I like the big hands. I like the kind of toony feel to it. I think it translates really well to anthropomorphic characters. This kind of base model. Again, I'm going to include in a link on the YouTube upload. I don't know how to annotate Twitch videos, but I'll include a link that'll give you guys a link to this base model right here, and we'll take a look at what you guys want to do with this stuff. It's pretty cool. It's all in Zbrush. But yeah, let's look at what we did. So, of course, we went to a T-pose. We expanded the arms. We added a lot of heft to the character there. We made his legs like tree trunks. Nothing happened here. And then we made a little bit of a bear face. Yeah, I'm happy with what we did. I think it was fun. So I'm going to be doing this as much as I can. I'll try to give everyone a heads up on the stream when we do button. When we do stuff, I'm going to try to give everyone as much a heads up as possible. Right now, I do not have a streaming schedule, but I'll be kind of doing what I can to let you guys know how it all works. I did not see the follow, Mirmi YOLO, but thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it. We're going to be doing a lot. If you guys go to my Twitter, which is @Ruxbat, RUXBAT, you can see some of the other art that I've done in relationship to the final product, which is like a VR Hairworks animated character. I finally had the opportunity to purchase Zbrush. I'm no longer working on a trial, which is really cool, which means I'm no longer time limited in being able to get all this shit done, which is cool. So I'll be working on ZBrush a lot. I've got my Maya stuff. I've got my Houdini stuff. I've got my Unreal Engine stuff. The last step, the thing that I'm really excited about is I think I'm buying myself a Rococo smart suit for Christmas. It is a wireless markerless motion cap based on magnetic bands. It's going to allow me to do body motion capture wirelessly anywhere I'm shooting. The reason I say shooting is because when we're going to be reading the scripts and doing the workflows, we're going to be videotaping and recording these interactions as well. And then when we have our animation process, we're going to go through and watch the video of what our actors did and recorded. My goal, because this is a community project and it's supposed to be very short-lived, the goal is going to be to do all this in one take. Everything but final VO. So what I want to do is have characters interact and do a scene. And if none of this makes sense, but why is he doing this for a video game? This seems really dumb. We're doing an interactive, where it's basically interactive fiction. You could call it a visual novel, but it's closer to interactive fiction than visual novel, because it's going to have a lot more elements about puzzle solving and things like that just really aren't present in a visual novel. The goals of the game are to really utilize emotional intelligence and kind of interacting with individual characters more so than it is to be like a click through, let me read the novel thing. We kind of want people to pick up on cues of characters and how an actor is delivering a line or things like this. We want it to be kind of a subtle game about emotional intelligence. And we think that could be a lot of fun. Yeah, so that's why we're working on facial rigging as well. I should have posted to the Twitter a facial rig demo of what we did with the iClone Studio software. We ended up ditching that, though, because I found a tech demo for Unreal Engine, which works with the iPhone X motion capture. I think on the next stream, well, what time is it? Do I have time? I don't really have time. I've got to get rolling. Oh, but I'll do this. I'll show you what the facial motion capture looks like. I don't have AirPlay set up on my streaming computer right now, but I do have a license for AirPlay, so I'll be able to show you guys this better next time. What I'm going to do this is I'm going to turn around and you guys can see. Oh, maybe you can, maybe you can't. Just says track interface. All right. So the idea is I have a visual AR puppet that is rendered in 3D, and the infrared camera in front of the iPhone that does the face recognition for unlocking the phone is used to drive blend shapes inside of Unreal Engine. So if I use the Apple ARKit model for modeling my characters' faces, all I have to do is drive those blend shapes in Unreal Engine. And Unreal Engine team put out a tech demo that showed how to do this end to end, including building the iPhone app. So all of this is open source. You can go and check that out, and if you're into animation, try it yourself. But essentially, the final kit that I need at this point is that Rococo Smart Suit, and then I'm ready to roll. So I'm stoked about that. Basically, we'll have the iPhone sitting in front of someone's face doing a VO record, not for final product. We'll do an overdub of all that. But like for tracking, we'll have the iPhone sitting in front of someone's face. They'll do a VO over record. We'll record their face with video so that we can get the actors' kind of more subtle expressions that we'll add after the automation capture from Unreal Engine. Because we'll be able to go back and forth with the animation data between Maya and all that, and we'll kind of drive some more of the more complex animations that way, and then all of that will be synced in Unreal Engine with the Rococo Smart Suit data, which should just plug in with the Unreal Sync engine stuff. Last time I talked to their team, it was like ready to go in October. It's 2 months after that, so I'm sure they hit their deadline. I'm sure their Unreal Live Sync stuff is ready to go. But that stuff is super cool. If you haven't checked out the tech demos, you should totally do so. Yeah, so we're gonna have a full animation kit kind of doing that. I was super stoked to find a super cheap giant Cintiq on Craigslist. So like, I feel like my whole animation process is gearing up. I'm really stoked about it, and I will look for you guys to keep tuning in and keeping me motivated to do the work. During the next streams, I'll do a lot of Q&A. Be sure to drop questions in the chat, and we'll see you next time. So thanks very much for tuning in. I do not have a hotkey to stop streaming, so my sign off is going to be super lame. And go. Nice.